Good morning guys, and welcome back to another video here. Not in Pakistan, unfortunately. The Pakistan series has ended. It was a really good time in Pakistan, but all good things must come to an end. So I'm back in the UK now, and we are moving to the next country tomorrow. So I think it will be tomorrow's video. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure you guys will be excited. I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm going yet, so you guys will have to find out. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you might actually know where I am already. So today's video is not going to be a travel vlog, it's just going to be more of a Q&A, more of an informal style, just talking about my experience, because a lot of people have given me a lot of questions and I haven't been able to answer them all in the comments. So yeah, if you're looking to watch a travel vlog right now, then I would suggest to just maybe watch tomorrow's video. But if you are wanting to know a little bit more about my experience in Pakistan, how I found it, what was my struggle, what did I find bad, what did I think was good, then just carry on watching, and yeah, we'll just get into it. I got my cup of English chai here, and I've got loads of questions. I basically put a Q&A up in Pakistan on my Instagram, asking people to give me some questions, and now I'm going to answer them. I'm going to be as honest as possible. Question from Harvey Lewis: is crossing the road as hard as you expected? It looks mad. Yes, it is actually very hard. There was actually one time I remember where I was crossing like a 3-lane highway and I just couldn't do it. These lads saw that I was trying to cross. They were obviously, like, I think they were tuk-tuk drivers, and we'd met them the day before, and they saw me, and they both, two of them came over, held me, one arm in one had one arm, the other had the other arm. I think I filmed it, so I'll put it up on the screen. And we slowly crossed the highway, and we were just all laughing the whole way because we knew how dangerous it was. Like, cars basically just stop for you. You kind of have to like weave in and out of cars. I'm sure if you're from Pakistan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's from Bon Voyage Brittany. How do you navigate having Wi-Fi and your schedule for posting and working? It's a very good question. I struggle, that's what I do. Basically, we always try and find hotels with good Wi-Fi, so we look in the reviews and we look for whether they have good Wi-Fi. In Pakistan, that was actually quite hard because we were going to some really nice hotels and they actually didn't have very good Wi-Fi at all. Generally, we go out, we film in the day. When we get home, we upload everything onto our hard drives and then start editing. Sometimes we don't edit every night, but quite often we do end up editing. I end up editing, and then basically as soon as the video is done, I post it onto YouTube, but you can do it so it's not listed, and then I schedule it so YouTube automatically uploads it for the next day. So it's actually quite easy, and it's quite a nice automated system for me. I always try and have like a couple of vlogs ahead so that if something happens, like I get ill, I've always got time. I think that's my friend from Barbados. How do you rate it how do you rate it / like it compared to the last 3 places you've been? Interesting. So the last 3 places I've been were Jordan, Barbados, and Dubai. So I'd say very different to these places. The places I was at before, Barbados and Dubai, were more holidays. So bit of a different experience, whereas Jordan and Pakistan was more of a work trip. So I was working very hard, and all completely different places in the world. So like you can't really, it's hard to compare them, but I'd say they all were unique. They all were good in their own unique way. They all had disadvantages and advantages, and I'll get onto Pakistan's advantages and disadvantages later. I don't think I could judge them. I don't think I could rate or say one is better than the other because they're all good in their own way. So a question from George Hooper. How are you, George? Does Pakistan actually show itself to be as dangerous as Western countries claim? Good question. I've said good question to every question so far because they are good. I'm going to straight up and go ahead and say no. However, there's a caveat to that because obviously I could be being naive when I say no. I never felt that danger in the 4 weeks I was there, but you could go there and feel in danger. You could be in danger, so I don't want to say it's not. I don't want to say it's not a dangerous country, but I never felt in danger, and everyone was always very precautious. They were very keen to take care of us, and of course, like in every country, you get shady areas, seedy areas, and a few seedy people, but that's literally like I could drive 10 minutes away from my house in England and be in the exact same situation. So to answer your question, it's definitely not as dangerous as Western countries claim, and hopefully by watching my videos, people who don't live in Pakistan can realise that. Question from Ollie Thornton Fitness. The one eye-opening thing you've seen? I think the one eye-opening thing that, it's not a specific moment from the trip, it's more of just like a general attitude that I picked up, is that you don't need money to be happy. Because I spoke about this in a vlog, and basically it's just, I noticed that like there were a lot of poorer people I saw in Pakistan who seemed very happy. They had like a really just like good attitude towards life, just like taxi drivers and things you talk to. And then on the other hand, I know people in the UK who are on a lot of like a really high wage, but aren't happy. So just like the two sides of the spectrum just made me realise that like you don't need a lot of money to be happy. Of course, I'll say that like money does solve your money problems, but it also creates problems, and I think a lot of people don't realise that. And then also another question from him, would you recommend visiting? Yes, definitely. I would say probably go in, if I was to go again, or if I was to recommend someone, I would say go in autumn or spring. Just in my opinion, better for the northern parts. Like I did enjoy the northern parts in the winter, but it's just generally would be better to go in autumn or spring, and then you can go to all the other cities as well. Question from Mr. World Nomac. Are you doing a 365-day vlog challenge from a loyal subscriber with notifications on? Well, thank you, Mr. Nomac. So me and Mac talked about doing a daily vlog for the whole of 2022, and basically I've decided that I am going to try and do it, but I'm not going to publicly like announce that I'm doing a daily vlog, because I don't want to put the pressure on myself. Say for example I'm getting really stressed and feeling burnt out, I have to get a vlog out. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself, so I'm you know, I might miss one day here and there, but generally I probably will upload for all of 2022. I'm just not going to put a label on it, if that makes sense. I hope that's fair. So this is not a question, but someone just said, I am from Pakistan, visit my village and city Okara next time. So potentially me and Mac will come in another season, maybe autumn 2022. I've got loads of requests saying come to these places, so definitely it's on the list. I couldn't go to every city in Pakistan, so next time we'll go to Skardu, we'll go to Peshawar, and if you guys have any other suggestions, Akara as well, comment down below. It's a request, learn some basic words in Urdu language, then people will be more friendly with you. Well, it's a good thing you said that, because I have learned some basic Urdu. Assalamu alaikum ya, kaise ho, Jani, apnam kya hai, and then some basic like ordering food and stuff. But next time I'd quite like to earn a little bit more. A question from A Haydar 32. How's the food? The food was really good. I think on my videos people get the idea that I'm not very good with spice at all, just because I'd always talk about the spice, but I am actually decent with spice. I never found a meal that too hot for me, so I liked the spice. I was expecting more spice, and yeah, just generally I did really like the food. I can't say I didn't enjoy the food. I love the breakfast, the omelettes. I know that's not necessarily Pakistani food, but the omelettes were always good with the, you guys know, cheese paratha. And also I have to have a special mention to the Hunza food. The Hunza food was up there with like the best food I've ever had. I don't know why, maybe it was because we were so cold that we were just like, it was like a comfort. But The soup, like I'm not a big soup guy, but the noodle soup, the soup, the yak, the T Neri says, do you have to be vaxxed to travel to Pakistan? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it was certainly easier to go without vaccine. We did need a PCR test as well, so just keep that in mind. You also, probably the hardest thing out of all of them is the visa. You have to get that like at least, I'd say like 2 weeks in advance. You need to sort that out because it doesn't come straight away. IG Mahirov, did the driver scam you on the way to Mazai Quaid? That's the structure that Muhammad Ali made, I believe, and I don't think he did, to be honest. No, I don't remember that guy scamming us. I remember him taking us to the wrong place, but that was not his fault at all. My Soul Life says, when are you going to sing karaoke? You got 100 likes. That is a very good point, and I'm glad you have also brought that to my attention, because I would have forgotten. So obviously I can't just do karaoke here. I mean, I could give you a song right now if you want, but how about we make a deal? The next karaoke bar that I see, I will go into and sing a song. Okay? You have my word. So you guys are going to have to keep watching to see that. I'm not sure where I'm going to see a karaoke bar, but probably in the next country. Question from Mezi Afridi. Best thing about Pakistan? It's a bit of a cliche thing to say, but the people. The people were incredible, so hospitable, so kind, and like, just to give you guys an example, we went out for a meal in Karachi. We had some cheese parathas. Me and Mac were just enjoying them. One person comes up, pays for our meal, just pays for it. Then second person comes, says, a bit like 5 minutes later, says, can I pay for your meal? We said, oh no, don't worry, thank you. He said, no, I want to pay for your meal. We said, someone's already paid for it. So yeah, that just goes to show. Question from Abdul Hadi. How do you see future of Pakistan in relation to tourism? I think that whilst we have the current situation with the Rona, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the word because of monetization, but basically because of that situation, I think that tourism is not likely to get better for a little while. But the good news is that people can go into Pakistan, and I've seen a lot of travel vloggers going there, which can only mean good things. Whilst I was there, I've seen 4 or 5 travel vloggers promoting Pakistan, not saying bad things. So I think that in time, when this Rona situation goes, I think that tourism will really see an increase, and I hope it does see an increase. Will you be going to Hunza? Yes, I did go to Hunza, and I made around 10 to 15 vlogs on it, which are the last 10 to 15 vlogs, so you can check it out. I made a Pakistan playlist, which is in my description, which has all 50 of my Pakistan vlogs. And if you watch all 50, then I will owe you. I will be in your debt forever. You can message me, and I will, if I see the message, I'll give you a prize. Abdullah Mash says, have you tried Pakistani McDonald's because the menu is different? I did try Pakistani McDonald's, but I was very ill, so I couldn't really get the full experience. And also, I had the same meal that I have in England. I had the chicken nuggets meal. So yeah, I feel like I kind of didn't really get the full experience. Question from Rao6198. What's you most like in Pakistan? My name is Ali. Nice to meet you, Ali. I've already answered the question, so I'm just going to say again, the people. Question from Hunza Rafakat. He didn't ask a question, he just said Hunza ... Yeah, Hunza, yeah. I agree. Question from Yaya Matha. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing. Hi Harry, did the rings you bought in Pakistan hold up well after being in water? Well, I can answer for you. Yes, it's absolutely fine. Looks good to me, I think. It's not faded at all. It's not gone a funny colour. So again, just goes to show he wasn't lying. He was an honest man, and I take honesty very. I think honesty is a very, very good attribute to have. Question from Usman5433. What thing you most liked in Pakistan? I've already answered the question, but I'll say a different thing. I'll say Hunza was my favourite thing. Hunza Valley, just like before I started doing research about Pakistan, I had no idea that Pakistan was even cold, let alone that there was mountains, that there was beautiful mountains, that there was just unreal scenery like this, and almost like completely different people with a different set of cultures, different languages, 7 different languages in the Hunza area. So just a really cool experience. Question Hero H. Any funny stories? Well, I'd say there's plenty of funny stories. Most of them I've got in the vlogs. There are a couple of funny stories I didn't get in the vlogs. Like a really, really good moment for me was one of the last nights when we got invited to this guy's studio in Hunza, and there was like a big group of like maybe 10 of us, and he just played like live music, really talented guy, and like we all just enjoyed each other's company. We were all just like living in the moment and not worrying about anything else in the middle of like a really small village in Hunza, and it was just like really special. I filmed it, I did film it, but like there was a lot of it. We were there for like a good 3 hours, and yeah, it was such a cool experience. Question from Rafiq6083. Which city do you like so far? My favourite city was Islamabad, just because it felt like very clean, very peaceful, and yeah, just really enjoyed that place. A question from Alika Sim PK. Which part of Pakistan amazed you the most? It's got to be Hunza. I'm sure if I went to Skardu, that would have been just as good, if not better. But yeah, Hunza was really cool. I really liked the Pasu cones, just like the way those mountains performed, and also I liked the Opal Glacier, because I studied glaciers for geography A level, but I never actually got to see them in real life, so that was my first glacier I'd seen. Ignore that. Question from 1_00k. That's an interesting name. I wonder what your parents were thinking. No, I'm joking. He or she just says, come to Islamabad. We did. We were there for 5 days, I think, and like I said, had a really good time there. But I will say, actually, a bit of a side note, the cheese parathas were better in Karachi than they were in Islamabad. So, just saying that's my honest opinion. Don't get mad. I don't think I had a cheese paratha in Lahore because I was feeling ill. Okay, question from Marina Ya. How was your experience? Well, I haven't actually talked about my general experience. I'd say like really, really good. There was a couple of negatives, but that wasn't to do with necessarily Pakistan. There were a few negatives of Pakistan, but I'd say like the main negative for me was that I felt a little bit burnt out at the end, and especially when I was ill during the middle of it. Like I was also making videos whilst I was ill because I just wanted to really make the most of my time there, and I regret that because I was just like really overworked and really tired. But in terms of the Pakistan experience, it was such a cool time. Like I've never experienced a place anything like it. At first, it was a huge culture shock, especially going into Karachi, which is such a crazy city in general. I'm kind of glad we did that because we got the crazy bit over and done with, and then we kind of slowly worked our way up. And yeah, I think I embraced it. I loved it, and I'm definitely keen to do more things like that. I love doing that, and I think an important thing that some people understood but some people didn't is that I got a lot of questions asking me to go to the nice areas of town, the modern areas like the shopping malls, but people don't realise that obviously they want to show off the nicer part of Pakistan, but I was going to Pakistan because I wanted something different. I could drive 10 minutes from my house and go to a really nice modern shopping mall. So I was going to Pakistan to get a different experience, like walking through the roads, street shaves, market stalls, loud, like smells, like good food, local foods, and like I wanted to do everything like local, and I wanted to get stuck in and not ask for directions and not have a tour guide. I wanted to do it as the locals would do it, for the content, but also for myself. I just wanted to change from what I've been brought up with. So I hope people understand that. And I did go to a few modern areas because I obviously wanted to show that there is more to that than there is more to like the local side of Pakistan. A question from Mamoon Wahid. What was your perception about Pakistan before coming here, and share your experience? My perception of Pakistan was, obviously I said I thought it was a lot warmer than, I did go in the winter, so that's why it was probably cooler, but I thought that it was all like similar to Karachi in terms of the weather, but it turns out that it's actually quite cool in the winter. And also I think my perception was that it was more dangerous than it is, and that's just how the media portrays it. That's the narrative, unfortunately. I had a lot of messages when I told people that I was going to Pakistan saying, be really careful, don't stay in the same area for more than 5 to 10 minutes. But I think it's going to be the theme of going to any country that has a bad negative image in the media's eyes. It's like you will be worried when you're going there, and people around you will be worried for you, and then you get there and it's really not as bad as you think. It's never as bad as you think in most cases, not all cases, and definitely in the case of Pakistan, I do strongly believe that it's not a dangerous place. Okay, question from Nimda. Tell your whole experience. Okay, I'll try and be as quick as possible. Basically, we started in Karachi, spent 7 days there, took the overnight train to Lahore, spent another 5 to 6 days there, I think, moving around hotels and stuff, and then I was ill, so I kind of missed a few days there. Then we got the luxury bus to Islamabad, stayed there for 5 days, did some sites, bought some things from the market, and then we took a 15-hour car journey up to Hunza area, including also we took a stop on the way to buy SWAT, and spent 7 days in Hunza, where it was very cold. I also mentioned that probably 1,000 times now. And then I got a flight, and then we drove back another 15 hours back to Islamabad, took a flight from Islamabad to Karachi, and then finished off in Karachi. I spent 1 day in Karachi just filming for a cinematic video. Best dish you taste? The meal in Hunza. We had a noodle soup, which was like just really nice because it warms you up, and the noodles were cooked really nice, with also like a cheese in. Doesn't sound very nice, but it was really good. Then we also had like it was like a Hunza version of a pizza. It was like a mix between a paratha and a pizza, and boy, I need to find out that recipe, because boy, that was the best meal I've had in Pakistan, honestly. Another question from Nimdar. Favorites, I've said that. Question from Hamza Majid. When will you come back to Karachi? I will drive you the city. That's a very kind offer from you. Thank you, Hamza. I plan to come back to Pakistan, and I'd probably fly into Karachi around, well, there's no set in stone dates yet, but I'd like to come back in the next year or two. Obviously I'd come at probably a different time, so maybe, like I said, in autumn, but I don't really plan a week further in advance, so we'll see. Question from Enven, I can't really pronounce that. Any unpleasant experiences in Karachi? I'd say there were a few. I'd say the unpleasant experiences were when Mac was called a terrorist. I mean, obviously that wasn't directly to me, but like it still felt uncomfortable, and that was still just like not a pleasant experience at all. But obviously that was one case in about, we probably met like 1,000 people, so 1 in 1,000. There's always one bad apple. No, question from Farzana. What do you like most about Karachi? The cheese parathas. No. Best thing about Karachi, genuinely probably the food. We did loads of food tasting in Karachi because it was the first few days we were there, so we were just trying everything we could. And the people, special mention to Fatima and her family, really nice people, and a special mention to Abdul. He was a really great guy. Yeah, like the people in Karachi, the only people that I kept in contact with are the people in Karachi and Hunza. So it just goes to show they were really nice people. They're nice people in everywhere, but I've stayed in contact with the people from Karachi and Hunza. Question from Frito Guy. Was Pakistan really that cheap, cost-wise? That's a good question, because most people who aren't from Pakistan think that Pakistan is very cheap, but it wasn't actually as cheap as you'd expect. I'd say the hotels were kind of like a mix. Some places they were cheap, and then other places they were just not cheap at all, like English prices. And I'm not too sure why that is. Maybe because of security reasons, they had more money to spend on security. But yeah, it just wasn't really that cheap. Food was a lot cheaper. However, no, it was cheaper. I'm not even going to say it wasn't. It definitely was cheaper, but there were some places where we would go to nice restaurants and you'd pay, more than you'd expect, but still cheaper than England, so I can't complain. Xavier Globetrotter. So far, what is the best place to visit? I'd say Hunza is a must. I'd say the Indian-Pakistan border ceremony in Lahore is also a really good activity to go to. It was really cool, and I would love to do it from the Indian side as well, because I'm sure it would be a completely different experience. Question from J4V quadruple one. Does it feel safe? Yes, I've answered this already, but I'll say again. Yeah, I didn't feel in danger once. I think maybe I was a little bit naive and I could have been, a bit more careful. But no, I don't think I ever felt unsafe. I always had expensive equipment on me and I never felt like anyone was going to steal it. I never felt like there were any extremist presence. A place like Karachi was not a safe place 10 years ago, but places change, people change, people have got to realise that. Question from Taha Shah. Why Pakistan and Pakistani are so beautiful? Is it on another planet? I'm not too sure what you mean by that, but I think it's on this planet. But no, to be honest, I think Hunza could be on a different planet because it was out of this world. I did say it was like heaven, and it did feel like heaven at the time. Question from Evelyn Mary. Evelyn, you are my super fan, so thank you very much for the question. How is the pandemic in Pakistan? So not many people wear masks, and when I was there, the new variant wasn't really a thing. It was more towards the end that it became a thing, and that the first case of the new variant came in when I was kind of leaving, so I never really saw it as a bad thing. You have to wear masks in like shopping malls and airports and stuff, but you don't have to wear masks outside. I don't think so. I just think in public areas. So yeah, I think it wasn't really a bad thing in Pakistan when I was there. Maybe it is now, but it wasn't when I was there. Question from Shabis Privet. I invite you to visit our city, Nawabshah. You must visit one of the cleanest cities in Pakistan. Well, that is another city to add to the list. I'm going to just make a huge list and tick them off when I come next time. Question from Mona Ajmal. You guys should meet Xavier Jaffrey. I'm not too sure who that is, but I'll find out, and yeah, I'll email him. Question from Patty Scorpion. What's your favourite food you have eaten in Pakistan? Biryani. I do love a chicken biryani. Question from Subham Explores. Did you go to India from Pakistan? What's your next country and what are your Christmas plans? I didn't go to India from Pakistan, but I do plan to go to India very soon. What's your next country? You guys will find out my next country in a couple of days when I post my next video. And so next question. Hi Harry, I'm from Karachi. I would love to know how you feel yourself in Pakistan. I think you mean like how did I feel about Pakistan? Yeah, like I said before, like really such an incredible country in its own way. Really kind, hospitable people, and the place was like beautiful in areas, and I definitely want to go back and explore more. Yeah, really, I haven't really got a lot of bad things to say. If I'm not sure if I will get this question, but like if there was any negatives, I'm not going to shy away from talking about the negatives. And I would say that probably one of the big negatives for me was like the road safety. It's something that I didn't feel safe when I was driving sometimes because they don't have seatbelts in some of the cars, and you like it's just a bit weird for me to not have the option to have a seatbelt. It's a small thing, but that's just one of the negatives I felt. And but then again, like that's also a little bit hypocritical of me to say, because there were points where I was going on motorbikes with no helmet, and I was choosing to do that. So if you had to choose one city in Pakistan to live in, which city would it be? Definitely Islamabad. I just feel like it's like a modern city, and I feel like I genuinely would move there, but I just don't really live in one place at the moment. I'm always traveling. Are you thinking of visiting Turkey soon? Sorry, my question doesn't relate to Pakistan. No, that's fair enough. Definitely, I'm planning to visit Turkey. Not necessarily soon, but I have like a list of countries, like 20 countries, and I'd say it's in like the 20, but Turkey, I definitely would like to hit Turkey in 2022. I've got to do some more research into it because I don't know too much about it, and like when's the best time to go and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely gonna hit up Turkey soon. Do you think you'll ever come back to Pakistan? Yeah, definitely. In autumn, hopefully. Sorry, that was from Xavier. From Stalwart90. Food in Lahore or Karachi? I've already said, guys, Karachi, unfortunately, for all you Lahorians. Another question from Zeshan. What do you feel is missing from Pakistan that would make your trip even better? More theme parks. That's a bit of a weird answer, but more like proper theme parks. Like the theme parks we were going to were only either children only, families only, or like not very like proper roller coaster rides. So I don't know if that's a good answer to your question, but yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it. And then another question from my man Zeshan. Which stereotype is true and which stereotype is false about Pakistanis? Wow, that's good. Okay, the stereotype that's true is that they're very good at cricket and they love cricket. Like I wasn't expecting them to be playing cricket that often, but you would see it every day on the street, in the park. You never see that in England anymore. You'd see people playing football, but you never see them play cricket unless it's an actual cricket game. So two Glorias says, do you plan to visit mountainous regions in Pakistan like Gilgit and Kashmir? Kashmir, I got asked to visit so many times, but I never managed to get around to it. So that's like top of my list. Peshawar and Kashmir, Skardu are on the top of my list for next time. And Gilgit, I think we went to Gilgit or we passed through Gilgit, but I don't think we stayed for long. I'm not too sure. When it comes to Hunza, I've forgotten all the names that we went to. Itzy says, when are you coming to Islamabad? Yeah, like I said, guys, I've been to Islamabad and I loved it. So that is all the questions. If you've got to this point, then you're a bit of a legend for sticking around for so long. I really appreciate it. And now's a good opportunity to talk about my next country. Obviously, it's going to be a big jump from my next country, from Pakistan to my next country. So I'm sure I'll have a dip in viewers, but I would encourage you guys to just maybe watch one vlog or two vlogs, like a first impressions vlog, And if you like it, then carry on watching. If you don't like it, then I'm not going to be mad that you don't like it. It is what it is. So I've had an amazing time in Pakistan, and it's enabled me to start making money from YouTube, which is like really cool. And it's enabled me to now go to plan and go to more countries, and I really want to hit more countries that people wouldn't usually travel to try and change people's perceptions. And yeah, also like it's important to note that when I arrived in Pakistan, I can't remember, I think I had around 1,000 subscribers, I'm not too sure, and at the time of filming this I have like 33,000. When this video goes out, hopefully 40,000, I don't know, sky's the limit really. So 40,000 subscribers from Pakistan, guys, what can I say? It's crazy, life's crazy. But thank you very much for watching. I'm excited to show you guys the next country, and thank you very much for your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video.